Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Shirtless Plantain Show, the Arsenal edition. Emo Barrack, it's been a while. I'm really cold, but I'm very happy to be here. And Arsenal winning. Arsenal beating a team that has just given us stress in the last couple of years. I'm trying my best to be positive here, so I'm going to be positive. But the Gabriel injury is just on my mind big time, and Timber going down at the end as well just wasn't good. But yeah, let's start from the top. So yeah, I think there was a danger of us looking a little bit flat, especially like how we looked flat against Leicester after we had I think 2 weeks off after we just came back from Dubai. But I think today was good in terms of the way we just our intention from the outset. I don't like Marco Silva, to be honest. I think he's as cynical as they come, to be honest. All Portuguese managers, to be honest. I think the only Portuguese manager I genuinely like is Fonseca, and he's out of a job right now. So that probably tells you everything you need to know about how these guys like to manage. Like he plays percentages, he's very clever kind of thing, but his team have got a nasty streak in them, and we saw quite a lot of it today, man. Like a couple of players go down, they don't even bother trying to kick it out, kind of thing. Then one of their players go down, like they're crying as well, and then the ref gives them obviously the opportunity to stop the game and stuff like that. It's just ridiculous. Anyway, with that being said, Bukayo Saka was on the bench and he was back, and Arteta teased yesterday that he's fit enough to start, and I just know Arteta, there was no chance in hell Saka was ever starting today. But it's good that he was feeling, that he highlighted that he had 6 training sessions behind the closed doors game as well. Sorry. But yeah, first half, look, there was barely any sort of space, but I was really, really glad and really impressed with Martinelli, straight up and down. The entire game, to be honest, Martinelli was easily the man in the match. But when we're this late into the season and, things you can easily wind down and stuff like that, it's good to find players that can help, carry the load for the next, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'm hoping as many games as possible, basically, between now and the end of the season, because I want us to win the Champions League. But yeah, he was really good, and I really enjoyed the fact that it wasn't just right-hand side centric. There was a clear instruction from Arteta to the players to essentially, let's try and vary the way we attack. And the ball's getting somewhat Martinelli loads. I haven't looked at the stats, but I can imagine his touch map is just insane. On the other side, however, Ranieri, while he wasn't great, Martinelli created a chance for him, and I really love the panic that he causes. Like, teams and players seem to be panicking whenever he gets the balls, and it just reeks of desperation and fear. Like, they're super aggressive with him, and I don't think it's because they're trying to actually just scare him. I think they're actually just petrified, to be honest, and they should be. But yeah, he was a bit quiet today, but it is what it is. But then he did create Marino's goal, which we'll get onto in a minute. Yeah, the Gabriel injury, I was sitting right behind the goal in the North Bank, and I didn't even see it. I just saw him go down and then get back up again, and then yeah, he was shaking his head, and apparently it's a hamstring. I don't have anything other to say than it's just bad luck at this point. What else can you do? Like, literally, what else can you do? Like, he had a week off basically after one international game, and he managed to get an injury in game. So it is what it is. I'm just hoping it really, really is just, he's just hurt rather than it being a long-term injury. But it is what it is. We have to wait and see. With that being said, though, someone I do want to talk about is Kiwior. Kiwior came on, and Kiwior was really good, considering the role he played in Jimenez's goal in the first fixture this season. I thought he was exceptional, to be honest. For what we expect from Kiwior, couldn't really complain for what he gave us today. He was aggressive, really good passing, intentional passing, and yeah, I don't really have anything bad to say about him, to be honest. But yeah, that leads us on to the goal. Before the goal came, we actually were, I feel like, we were in ascendancy, and it was good that the goal came, just before half time. Really, really lucky goal, but Marino did what you should be doing. You should, when you get into the area in those boxes, you shouldn't be looking to pass the ball. Just put your foot through it and see what happens. And I feel like Arsenal get enough in those situations where we should just be doing that. It deflected in. That's exactly what you want. You're not gonna win the lottery if you don't buy a ticket. So I'm really, really pleased that he did that. Yeah, and to be honest, going into the second half, which we'll get onto, I think he was really good in the second half as well, especially when he moved back into midfield. But yeah, getting into the second half, it was just us. It was literally just us from the outset. Martinelli in the second half in particular, I think it was very reminiscent of his performance against what are they called? Sevilla in the Champions League. I think he attempted like 14 take-ons and completed like 11 or 12 or something like that. Someone please correct me on that. But I know he was into double figures, and yeah, it was fantastic. Castagne was castrated. The flip-flap nutmeg as well was just out of this world. Like I had an amazing view of it, and you know we could tell a player's body language where he's just begging for the coach to sub him off, but the coach wasn't having it at all. Martinelli was just absolutely relentless over and over and over again. He created some really good chances for everyone. And what the most pleasing thing about it as well is that he was just going on the outside, which is it's old school typical wing play. You know what I mean? Like you don't always have to come inside and make it obvious what you're gonna do. Like you do that enough times, kind of thing. You come too easy to defend unless you're Saka. But Martinelli was just fantastic today, and the ball kept on getting to him. And a lot of that had to do with the fact that I think Martin Odegaard was playing a lot more centrally and even slightly to the left. He even created an offside goal for Martinelli as well from that position. But yeah, speaking of Odegaard, was really, really poor in the first half, and I think he stepped up in the second half. Excellent performance from him in the second half, I want to say. Some people in the podcast probably won't be pleased to hear that, but I'm going to be fair to him. I think he was really good in the second half. But yeah, I think the main event has to be Saka. I was just really excited to see the reaction when he warmed up, and it was incredible, absolutely incredible. Fans gave him exactly what he deserved, and he came on, and yeah, it was he's the man. Like he's a titan. He's our franchise. He's our star. He's our star man. He's everything. He's Arsenal's everything, to be honest. I don't think there's anything wrong with a player that good being that reliant on a player that good. There's nothing wrong with that. And his goal was a bit of justice, I think, from the offside goal. He got ruled out for in the reverse fixture, should I say? Great play from Martinelli and Marino. Martinelli's flicked it, and he's dove in at the back post, which he should be doing loads. He'll get 6-7 goals like that a season. Hopefully he gets more like that this season as well. But it's clearly been worked on, and those are just the easy goals. Those are the really easy goals. I'm pleased that he got it, and it turned out to be the winner because I don't know what happened there. But Muniz has obviously got a goal at the end. But yeah, on to Everton on the weekend, and then Real Madrid this time next week, I believe. So yeah, let's see how it goes, man. The Gabriel injury is still on my mind, but look, we've got Saka back, man, so anything's possible, man. I've been Coach. See you guys on the next one. Peace.